The rise and journey of Swedish singer-songwriter Tove Lo. While this Swedish singer-songwriter first came to fame in 2013, the artist has maintained a steady fan base and has embarked on new journeys. Continue reading to follow her career path.
The whole thing with my name, how to pronounce it. Tove Lo is now my stage name, and how I pronounce it.
Who is Tove Lo? Just a couple weekends before the world shut down due to COVID-19, I had the absolute pleasure of spending a Friday evening at the Palladium Concert Hall in Los Angeles. I excitedly attended the Swedish singer-songwriter Tove Lo's last show of her North America Sunshine Kitty Tour. While Tove Lo may have had a broken foot during her set, she put on an unforgettable performance and really sent off my last weekend of freedom with a bang.
So I think it's like kind of accepting that you're feeling these feelings and then telling someone close to you that you trust, I think is really important.
Originally born as Ebba Tove Elsa Nilsson, the artist has gained many fans who obsess over her pop anthems drenched in grunge, addicting electronic beats, and truthful lyrics. Lo explained to her fans in a YouTube interview where the shortened version of her name, Tove Lo, came to be. It all started with her fascination with the lynx at her local zoo, whose name was Tove. She was so obsessed her family started calling her Tove Lo. Lo is Swedish for lynx.
And I think if it was like an intense relationship, and that, you're not defined by whatever happened between you two, kind of.
While growing up in the suburbs of Stockholm in a nice, humble home, when the artist entered into her teenage years, she desired a change. In an interview with BBC, Lo recalled her moments of rebellion when she dyed her hair pink and spiraled out of control, and what, or should I say who, was to blame, you might ask? Kurt Cobain. I fell in love with the Kurt and Courtney story, even though I was only 12. I had all the posters on my bedroom wall, the black and white one of him where he has loads of eyeliner. I was fascinated by grunge, and it started there.
It kind of gets to a place where it's like, what's reality and what's not kind of thing. And then you just gotta have just be a little bit extra careful.
Growing up so safe, I think I was looking for something else. Possibly a life filled with a bit more of danger, excitement, and perhaps a touch of sex, heartache, and parties, the often topics of many of her songs. Continue reading to journey through Lo's timeline as a musician and her major career highlights to date. 2013, Habits. Fans can arguably state that Tove Lo really blew up after the release of her breakup anthem, Habits, which came out in March of 2013.
The kind of thing where when you do write and or like when you have to write something and you don't feel creative, you feel like you're the worst, most untalented person in the world.
This track caught the attention of many and had people all over the world buzzing about her lyricism. What fans may not know was that the song was actually written first as a poem that she wrote during a low, no pun intended, time in her relationship. In an interview with Paste magazine, the singer recalls, "I wrote that song before we ended it. It was over, but not over.
The breakups that I've had have all been very intense and passionate and
I knew what I wanted to sing in the chorus and tried to write it with tons of different people, but they never got it. Finally, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be honest and vulnerable and just tell it like it is. Everyone has been through that, just being numb. The chorus was probably a few months after we'd broken up, but I was still in that zone of going crazy and hiding the tears with substances of different sorts.
I'm just kind of coming up with and then I hear like my producers in the background, oh, that's so cool, that's so good. Then
You can tell in the recording. We tried to re-record the vocals, but it had to be the demo, because you could tell it was really coming from the heart. This song has also been coined a sleeper hit, meaning it became even more popular a year after its release. It topped several charts, including the Billboard Hot 100 and Canadian Hot 100. 2014 to 2015, Queen of the Clouds.
it's amazing. I just to kind of see it slowly happening more and more, and then it felt like all of a sudden it was just boom, and it was everywhere.
Lo released her debut album, Queen of the Clouds. The theme of the album is based around the phases of a relationship: sex, love, and pain. Due to the major success from Habits, Universal Music offered the singer a record deal. Billboard reported this album debuted on the Billboard 200 at number 14, and a whopping 19,000 copies were sold in the first week of release.
It just felt like I could hear her on it, and so I was just like, let's just reach out, you know, what, it couldn't hurt. And she loved it and was into it and was like, let me do my thing to it.
She also was featured on the famous Swedish DJ Alesso's single, Heroes, from his own debut album, which also received positive reviews. She served as the opening act for Katy Perry's 2014 tour and subsequently went on her very first headlining tour the following year. 2016 to 2018, featured work and album releases. These 2 years were full of famous features and the release of her second and third studio album.
She's always ahead of the game. She's always doing something new. It's always like her albums, her shows, everything is just like, you know, she's such a powerhouse.
Tove Lo was featured in Nick Jonas's intimate single Close, as well as Flume's electric anthem Say It. In 2016, Lo put out her sophomore album Ladywood with Island Records in October of 2016, which flaunted a dark techno sound. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, the artist reported that Ladywood was the first installment of a double album about chasing all kinds of rushes.
Absolutely.
It's weird just walking around and going to a store and it's playing, and it happens like several times in one day. You're like, what? Again?
A year later, a sequel album was released by the artist, Blue Lips, in 2017, which continued the story with 2 more chapters about climaxes and come-downs. 2019, Sunshine Kitty. Lo's most recent studio album, Sunshine Kitty, debuted in late September of 2019.
Instance in my life that comes down to this one moment that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm writing about, but it's coming from all these other angles, always.
The music video for the lead single, Glad He's Gone, received a Grammy nomination for Best Music Video and was Lo's first Grammy nom for her solo work. Lo also had the privilege of working with singer-songwriter, producer Phineas, Billie Eilish's older brother, on her singles Bikini Porn and Passion and Pain Taste the Same When I'm Weak, which were both included on the deluxe album of Sunshine Kitty.
So it wasn't too painful, but I did record a lot of it also like on the road and away and kind of, you know, finding studios wherever I was and just finishing it up a little bit.
Today, quarantine, new music, and acting debut. After finishing her North America Sunshine Kitty tour, the world essentially shut down due to the pandemic, and like the rest of us, Tove Lo was left in isolation. In the middle of 2020, she announced on social media that she got married to longtime boyfriend. She also hinted on Instagram that she spent time quarantining with friend and fellow songwriter Charlie XCX in a house in Palm Springs.
I felt like I had a clean slate in a way, and I think I finally also had like a second to take in everything that's happened in the last 5 years.
Fans can assume the two are working on new music and can only hope to receive another collaboration between the two leading ladies. Also, During the later months of 2020, Lo set off on her acting debut in the SF Studios feature The Emigrants, a film based on the 1949 novel by Wilhelm Moberg about a group of individuals emigrating from Sweden to America in the 1840s and 50s.
She probably did like really help me find like an outlet where it was okay to be like fully honest about whatever I was feeling, not be ashamed of it.
This reinvented adaptation is told from a female perspective, and I eagerly await for more details about the film. I can certainly speak for myself when I say I admire Tove Lo and her candidness within her artistry. She is extremely body positive, her songs are incredibly honest, her style is impeccable, and she is one of the only pop stars I can think of who is truly not afraid to bend the rules and make her own. I look forward to hearing the music she decides to drop next, and can only hope to see her on tour again once the world goes back to semi-normal. Written by Alexa Sutherland.